What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and we've got some bad news yesterday. Obviously, today is the election going on here in the United States. I'm working hard to provide a little bit of distraction for all of you. I've got a special video for you later today to help relax you that I hope you'll like. But for right now, this channel has been covering the situation with JD, as apparently I now have to say it because YouTube does not allow you to cover this topic, and AH. And now JD's lawyer has spoken out about the ruling, and his comments pretty much are in line with my own. While I was very skeptical that JD would find any justice, that didn't mean I didn't think he was right. That didn't mean that I didn't think what AH said about him definitely damaged his career, definitely was provably false in most cases. And not only did this judge come out and deny him justice, but he actively enforced and signal boosted the things AH said about him. And because YouTube will bury this video and won't show any ads on it, how about I sponsor it? It's me! I'm the sponsor! And all I want to do is remind you that I have a thriving Discord community I'd like you to join. I have a strong presence on Twitter Alternative Parlor. You can find me on Twitter, and you can join my subreddit. I'd love to see you on all 4 platforms. Links are in the description of this video. You can also support the channel by clicking that join button down below, becoming a member here on YouTube, or signing up at my Subscribestar, which is also linked in the description below. Both forms of support go miles to support people like my wonderful editor, Sean. Or my wonderful thumbnail creator, Ben. You don't have to do these things or join these communities, but it would be neat if you did. Now let's get on with the video. Hey, I hope that you join me on at least one of those platforms: Parler, Discord, Twitter, Minds, Facebook, anywhere. Hopefully all, because we all know how difficult it is to get any kind of reach. Now, a brief summary is probably required here, but not too much detail. Essentially, we know the Pirates of the Caribbean actor and the Aquaman actress had a terrible marriage, one that was mired in just Hollywood excess meets Hollywood excess. It's like what about it? Unstoppable force meets an immovable object type thing. Both humans did not behave like adults, basically in any aspect of it. But where this gets interesting is one of them, the Aquaman actress, decided to pen an op-ed, I believe it was the Washington Post, essentially as a preemptive strike to smear Johnny's name forever. And now that this judge has not only thrown his case out, which I thought was a risky thing to do in the first place, but the fact that he basically came out and praised AH makes me think that he got a little bit of that sweet cone gobble in the back room, because I just, the evidence, I think there was evidence that made Johnny look bad. There were things that Johnny did that were genuinely bad, but it basically pales in comparison to the things that Amber did and the things that were proven. So, I saw this as two kind of wild and reckless people being wild and reckless, except only one of them suffered any real consequences for it. One will now be lauded as a hero. The other blackballed from the industry for the rest of his life. Now he's got $500 million floating around. He'll be fine, but it's still unfortunate. Justice Andrew Nicol ruled in favor of the UK Sun, which is basically a garbage tabloid in the UK that had printed a very salacious headline about Johnny, declaring as fact that he raised his hands to his wife. Now, he had filed a libel suit against that company's executive editor, Dan Wooten. He filed it in response to an article published by The Sun rating Gone Potty. How can J.K. Rowling be genuinely happy casting wife hitter JD for the new Fantastic Beasts film? In the 129-page decision, Justice Nicol found that the majority of the claims that the Aquawoman actress made have been proved to a civil standard, bearing in mind that has been said about the evidence necessary to satisfy the standard when serious claims. However, the section discussing Johnny's record or non-record for this kind of behavior, Nicol wrote, there is no evidence that JD has had any proclivities towards raising his hands in the UK, the US, or in any other jurisdiction. He added, in the course of his evidence, he was questioned about a number of episodes which he was said to be raising his hands either to property or to people. I shall refer to these briefly, but I can say I did not find any of them to be of great assistance in my task. Essentially saying I wasn't convinced, even though it seems like in this case he was guilty until proven innocent. Also of interest is that while describing the claims that JD, some of the things he did over one of JD's tattoos, Nicol accepted the description of JD as, quote, a monster. He explained, I've already said that I accept that JD did refer to, quote, the monster. That expression was not a figment of AH's imagination. I accept her evidence that JD used the term to refer to a part of his personality when affected by the drink, that he would do things he would not otherwise do. Now, I believe this part. I do. Nicol will go on to claim that he did not believe JD's characterization of AH as a gold digger. He specifically pointed to AH allegedly donating $7 million that she received from her settlement. Now, I don't know if she actually did. Who did she donate it to? Did she donate it to a film company that is also a shell corporation that she is a board member of and draws a giant salary? I don't know. You know, where did the money go, and did she benefit from it? He wrote, she was, according to the scenario, nothing more than a gold digger. I have, in course of this judgment, given reasons why I do not accept this characterization, looking at the evidence as a whole. He would later write, I recognize that there were other elements to the settlement as well, but her donation of the $7 million to charity is hardly the act one would expect of a gold digger. That's true. That's true. But again, who runs the charity? How are they spending money? Is it something in her name? We don't know this. Maybe it was truly a kind act. I don't know. Now, in the conclusion, he wrote, JD had not succeeded in his action for libel, although he has proved the necessary elements of his cause of action. The defendants have shown that what they published in the meaning which I have held their words to bear was substantially true. And what's going to happen here, of course, is even though, again, this doesn't necessarily prove that he did any of it. It just proves that he wasn't good enough to prove that he didn't. Now, of course, the lawyers have come out to take their victory laps, of course. One of JD's lawyers, Jenny Afia, responded to the ruling saying the decision is as perverse as it is bewildering, adding, most troubling is the judge's reliance on the testimony of AH and corresponding disregard for the mountain of counter evidence from law enforcement, medical practitioners, her former assistant, other unchallenged witnesses, and an array of documentary evidence which completely undermined the allegations point by point. And that's really been my issue with it too. It feels like the judge just completely ignored all of the evidence and said, I don't really care. And make no mistake about it, I don't know if it was the UK Sun or not, the one that was logging into somebody's cell phone. Was that the Sun? UK cell phone lawsuit kidnapping, I think. Was that them? Was this them? I feel like it might have been them. Essentially, there was some reporter that was checking voicemails, some reporter, and then it was giving the family hope. I don't know. I don't want to go into all that. But the UK Sun is a garbage factory, and of course they get carte blanche to continue to print garbage. And now this decision will most definitely negatively affect JD's career, and it may already be affecting his part in Fantastic Beasts, because essentially he can shapeshift, which means he could be replaced. I hope you enjoyed this video, though. I hope that today will be the day to earn your subscription if you haven't yet, and we'll talk to you again real soon.